Hello everybody and welcome to the final episode of Drumard Farm. I say the final episode because this most likely is, however, I'm going to leave it fairly open so we can return in the future if we want to, which is highly likely because it has been a very good map and it will still be in the future. So yes, I think we will be staying with this map for some time in the future at some point. I don't know when though. Yeah, at the moment we're going to finish it at 25, episode 25, and just go from there really. I'll probably do a vote in a few months' time, or maybe a month's time, and say, do you want me to return to Drumard Farm? And if enough people say yes, probably more than 50%, then we will do. Otherwise, we won't do. But that would be a bit of a shame. The reason why we're having to move on at episode 25 is, well, I say 20. Episode 20 is usually my changing point when we change maps. We've already overrun that to 25, so it is time to explore some other maps as well. I don't know what the next map is going to be. It's going to be 2 days away when we actually change, and I still don't really know. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to make a decision at some point. I do have some ideas, but yes, I'm not too sure. Anyway, in the back of here, we have got the canola from the previous episode. We're about to sell it. And what we're also going to do today is harvest some trees and some more fields. So let's just check and see where the good prices are. That is a dramatic difference. You see, that would be a big mistake going to area 2 when area 1 is so much better. The price is declining at area 1, but it is still almost twice as good. So which is area 1? This one here. It's so important to check and see where the best prices are. You could potentially lose hundreds, if not thousands. So from that field, which was fields number 4, 5 and 6, we've got 12,835 euros. I will make sure that is changed. Whoa, the steering wheel is controlling the menu again. It does do this. Euros, there we go. Right, so we're going to go over to the agroforestry field. That is where we're going to harvest today. Many of you will have already pointed out that the header is too big for that field. We had to do it the same size. We need a header the same size as the seeder. And unfortunately, that John Deere Combine Harvester doesn't actually have a header that small. Its smallest one is the one we had, so I've had to buy a new Holland header. It looks a little bit strange, but really it's just for one field, so it doesn't really matter. It's just the looks of it. The way it works is exactly the same. So we're just going to have to bear with that for one field. But I'm sure it's not too much to ask for. So we'll harvest that field, then we're going to go and cut some trees down. I think we're actually going to do some chipping. We'll most likely use this trailer again. The chipper is the small chipper. It's designed for small branches, so I'm hoping to fit at least some of the trees in there. They're not fully grown yet, so that's really on our side. However, they are still fairly big. I think there must be about 3 growth stages for the trees, and I reckon it's on about number 2. So yes, they're not small, they're also not absolutely gigantic. So they're bearable. We should be able to fit some through the chipper. The bits which don't fit through, we'll probably just throw them in the trailer. We can still sell them, so it's all extra money. Anyway, there is the John Deere Combine Harvester with the New Holland header on the back, barely filling the trailer. I had to do a really big swing around here to get the trailer through. However, I don't know how often we're going to need this trailer today, since the crop, there isn't much of the crop. Like, some of this field is trees, so it's taking up quite a bit of space. Now, if my guesses are correct, this header is going to be slightly too small. But it was the closest one to our requirement. If we're lucky, it will be the exact right width for this. If we're unlucky, we're going to have to go up and down each one, well, twice, I suppose. So let's just measure it. Oh, that is so close. It looks like it's too small. We're going to find out any second. Oh yes, and don't forget the PTO shaft. Absolutely typical. Not to worry, it doesn't matter too much. It's just going to take twice as long, since we're going to have to go back up again on every single run. It is a shame. It was a very annoying width. I couldn't find a header the right width. The John Deere's one was just far too big, and this one was close, but just not quite there. It's a shame you can't like add another bit on, but it just wouldn't work. Really dense in here too. I think this is what some people were concerned about, the trees blocking the light from the crop. I suppose it would be a bit of an issue. Also the water, the moisture which the trees would be taking up away from the crops as well. That could also be an issue. But I still like the idea. It's a fun thing to do. I wouldn't want to do it an awful lot, but once in a while, it is fine. So now I've got to swing around and do the bit which we missed. Yes, it does look a bit strange with the yellow header, but it is working fine. I did this same thing in Farming Simulator 15. Twice in fact. I did it on Colborough Park Farm and also on Thornton Farm. The one on Thornton Farm didn't really go to plan. I wasn't using GPS and it was a bit messy. But when I did it on Colborough Park Farm, I also didn't use GPS, but it just went a lot smoother. I think I was taking more time over it, so it just was a lot neater in the end. It does pay off to take your time. But I was in a bit of a rush for Thornton Farm. We had lots of stuff to do. Anyway, the good thing about this crop is it's soybeans, so it's not filling the combine up very quickly, yet it's still worth a lot of money. So that is 3 sections done. We still have quite a few to go, 6 by the look of it. So we are a third there. We're a third of the way there. It's actually not taking as long as I thought. The main reason for this is because we seem to be going 6 miles per hour now, and before, this combine refused to go faster than 4. I'm guessing it's to do with the header. It has recognised it's a different size header, and it's decided it can go faster. We're right in the middle now, in the depths of this forest, this agroforest. It does work though. It's nice to do. So, yeah, just got a few more to go, and then we're going to be unloading. Notice that we are only 18% full. So far, just over 2,000 litres. I don't think I did much with this field actually. I don't think I did any fertiliser, so that is the reason why. We just let it grow. And was it even ploughed? It probably was. It's probably 100% less productive than what it could have been. Not to worry, doesn't really matter too much. We've got the trees. Okay, so this is the second to last row, and we are just finishing off here. Once that's done, it'll be time to unload, pack up, and then bring over the chipper. Now the chipper was last used over at the other forest, and that is where I left it. The reason why I left it there is so I knew where it was. So I think the nearest tractor there is actually the old Massey Ferguson tractor, so we're going to have to get that to bring it over, and I reckon it is powerful enough, I would have thought, to run it. I think it will be powerful enough. So that can stay with the chipper. Right, so the final one. In fact, I didn't even plant this one to the edge. Would you look at that great demand at Drumard Farm Trades for wool. We have at least 6 full pallets of wool to sell. Could the timing have been better? It is time to move on to the wool instead of the forestry just for a few minutes. We will be doing the forestry today still though. Most of the wool is loaded up anyway, so most of the job is done. Anyway, let me just finish off here. And this final piece goes around a tree. And that's it. Good. So, with in the end 35% of the combine full, it turns out not to be too bad. It certainly could have been worse. Actually no, it couldn't. It could not have been worse. Because I don't think we did anything, so, oh well. That shows you how important it is to fertilise. Now let me just fill the trailer up as much as we can do. and then we'll be heading down to the store along with the lorry of wool. I'll put the combine harvester here, and then we'll drive over there, of course making our detour on the way. But at least we've managed to harvest the field. I was a little bit concerned that we would run out of time. Like, this is the last episode, and I didn't think we'd actually have time to do the forestry and the harvesting. If we were cutting down every tree, we would not have time. We would probably only do about 3 trees. So you may ask, what was the point in planting all those trees then? Well, 2 answers to that. One is, like I've said, we may be returning, and also they're still growing, so if we left them anyway, you'd get more wood out of them. So we really shouldn't be harvesting them yet anyway, but it's just because we have run out of time. So that is the bypassing route. We'll reverse up there. If I can see. I think the gate is somewhere here. Yes, there it is. So, yeah, I'll just back up here completely. And then we can jump out and see if any more pallets have spawned. My guess is there would be at least 1. Yes. Is that another full one? Wow. That is doing well then. So we need to get this tractor and load up what is left so we can sell as much as possible. It's actually turned out to be perfect because we've only got space for 2 more pallets unless we stacked, and we have 2 more. One of which is probably in the region of 20% full, so not an awful lot in here, but as we're going we may as well take it. 49% full, much better than I thought. I think I mentioned before that the stacking wasn't that good and it probably had to be sorted out before we left, so I'll check it again and see what it's actually like. I can remember that I think it was the middle pallets. They're overhanging quite badly, so we may have to bring them back on the lorry a bit. But if they're not too bad, we'll just go and sell them. Okay, so there we go. It is stacked. Everything is done. There is another strap just there. How severe is it? Oh, it's nothing really. I won't bother. We need to crack on. Put this tractor away and we will go and sell it for hopefully a very good price. This is going to be very interesting. And I mustn't forget to get the tractor to follow us, otherwise it was all for nothing. Bringing it down here. Yeah, I think that's the fullest I've ever seen my wool lorry. And off we go to the sell point with 2 different things to sell. We are actually doing very well for money, but we did start off with a fair amount, so I think if we were in debt with this save game, I really would have failed. But we've actually been doing pretty well recently. Everything has been income, not really many expenses. So first things first, we will sell the wool. We'll get the impressive one out of the way first. Hopefully the trailer will get round there. Not even sure where it is. Oh, there it is. It's on the way. So this will start to sell as soon as we go into the trigger. So I'll just remove the straps first of all, and then they should gradually sell. So you can see the money is going up. They're slowly emptying. I suppose actually all I have to do is leave it there, and we can go and sell this as well. It may take some time to do the wool. There is quite a bit of it. And before I tip, I will just check the best price, just so we know for sure. Ah, good price area 2, not area 1. Still selling the wool. Not quite sure how much we've made so far. It is impressive though. I think it's in the region of 100,000. Yeah, it's still going. You can see it from here. I won't tip this until it's finished because I want to know the exact sum. Wow, this is definitely over 100,000. 125,000 euros. That is why we were working so hard with the sheep. That is impressive. And then 5,716. Not quite so impressive. And some people said I was failing. Wow, how they were mistaken. So back we go, but this time we need to make sure that we get the chipper, which is en route. It is somewhere over here. It's in the forest. I know roughly where it is. The Massey Ferguson tractor for some reason was dumped in the field, so we'll just pick it up. It needs to come home anyway, so the field which it's in, I think is field 14. If we turn right up here, it should take us to it. Yes, there it is. You can just about see it over there on the horizon. The 265. Ah yes, I think it's quite noisy, this tractor, I seem to remember. So I'll drop the volume a bit, just so you can hear me. And if it's running in the PTO, on the chipper, it'll be very noisy. So, can we get to the forest from here? It looks like we can do. You can see the dot in the middle of the forest. In fact, you can see it from here. The chipper. It's gone hitch it on. It's actually a really fast tractor. Wow, look at the lorry. Flying. Yes, things aren't going too well back there. I'll just stop the course so it doesn't follow me. Yeah, so this tractor was unofficially converted, which is the reason why I've removed the download link as requested by the author. It's never nice when these things are published and converted without permission. So, over to the field of forestry. It gets steeper here. That's pulling the RPM down. And yes, we have no indicators, so we can't really notify anybody which way we're going. But it's okay. I don't think there is much traffic about. Better give them a fairly good turn there, otherwise they're going to hit the gate post. Yeah, that's all good. Right. Now we have to have the tough decision of which tree should we start with. Always a tricky one. We really shouldn't start in the middle, it's just I feel like starting in the middle. Let's just come on down and just see if all of the bits will fit through the chipper. If they don't, it's going to really mess up our plan here. But my plan is to chip as many as we can to fill one trailer. They do actually look fairly chunky, they have grown very well. Oh. So we don't technically have to take the foliage off, it's just I thought we might as well do. It does make it easier to see. Okay, so what's happened here is I've had to detach it from this tractor here and attach it to this one here. For some reason I couldn't put the PTO shaft on. It's probably a conflict between the mod and the manual attaching, but it's fine, it doesn't matter. We probably should cut this up as much as possible first actually, then we'd have to keep getting the chainsaw out. Now the pieces are very light, so I think if we cut each tree into about 4 sections, then it should be manageable. You see, we can pick this up. It's fairly big. Feed it in. But yes, the question is now answered. We can indeed pick up every piece and feed it through here. The tree is not too big. Although, there we go, yes. It doesn't like it for some reason. It liked the first one, that was chunkier. It's probably just too long. 1 second. Right. There we go. And how quickly is it filling the trailer? Oh, very quickly. So, I don't think we're going to be doing too many trees. My guess is in the region of 3. But with that going through now, we can now fell the next tree, which is just here. And to be honest, I can't really remember the price of wood chips. I can't remember if it was that impressive. But it'll be going to the best price available if there's more than one. We're going to make a frisbee here. We'll throw the frisbee in. Oh, great, there's 2 of them. Frisbee. We may as well get it chipped. I don't know about that one though. So, foliage off. And then into several pieces. It's the base of the tree, which is always the hardest to feed through. And then I think once more about here. And that should be okay to feed through. Starting with this piece. No, it doesn't seem to mind. And then the longer piece, which I have just thrown away. We may have to cut it to size. That is strange, the middle piece never goes through as easily. It's probably just the length of it which is doing it. It's probably, because it's tipping up at an angle, it makes it harder to feed through. So this time it should be easy. And then this one, and then there is one more over there. And I think we'll have to check and see how full the trailer is. Now the issue with this is, I think the end of it is the piece which it usually disposes of. There we go. So what's that, about 50% full? So maybe 4 trees we can do. This is our final tree. The trailer is in the region of 70 to 80% full. I think it does fill up by roughly 20% each time for each tree that we do. Oh, run out the way. It's gonna fall. Right, just jump cut there. It's all cut up, ready to put through it. So there goes the first one. At least it should be. Yeah, it's going. And second one. It's going as well. Get the third one ready. And just one more piece up here. And then that'll be our chipping done for today. It is fun doing it once in a while. Although I think I do prefer logging. Logging is better. So what did we finish off? Oh, it is 100% full. It filled it 100%. So I'll just turn everything off here. We'll fold it up. And ideally, we do need to swap the tractors back over again. This one probably would tow it. Let me just give it a go. Well, it's fine downhill, but that is kind of expected. We should be able to get out of the field somewhere here. Well, it seems to be okay. I dread to think what it's going to be like when we get to the hill. It'll be interesting to see, but yes, we're going to sell all this and see what we can get for it. Here we go, the steepest hill on the map. Look at that speed drop off. Oh dear. 2 miles per hour. With some excessive wheel slip from the front wheels. But it is still doing it, the mighty Massey Ferguson. And we're now at the other side of the hill, so we can race back down again. I don't really feel like stopping, since it's very hard to get going again. There should be some form of tipping point, although it looks like everywhere seems to accept the wood chips. Right, so 577 at area 1. Well, that is just here, where we went to before. That is actually not a bad price for wood chips. It seems to be much more impressive than usual. But there they all go. 4 trees, exactly 4. And from this, we're going to gain an extra €12,109. That does sound very good for wood chips. Maybe it's been adjusted. Anyway, that concludes this series. So, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And yeah, like I say, I will likely be doing a vote at some point within the next few months to say whether you want me to return to this map. I'll keep the save game, of course, and yes, if we do want to return, then everything will be just as we left it. So yeah, until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.